should we kick off? That's 1 minute past 5.
Oh, I'll just share my screen. Oh, cool. So can everyone see that? No?
It's good to me. I'm going to mute myself.
Cool. So you can see the LevelUP presentation. Yeah, cool. So just get it up and running. So hello everyone, and welcome to Digital Skills for Girls workshops. So my name is Vanessa, and today we're going to be creating a Minecraft world using JavaScript. So we're going to be completing some really cool challenges. Like Kelly said earlier, you don't need to install anything, it's all on the browser. So I'll give you the website at the end, and I'll give you a bit of time to get yourself set up. So I'm going to be joined by with Kelly from CodeBase Stirling, and she's going to be hosting the next workshop on building a platform video game. So if you haven't signed up for that, but you can still stick around and you can get involved with that. So before we get started, I thought I would tell you a little bit about myself and how I got into the job I do today. So there were lots of things I wanted to be. I wanted to be a doctor, I wanted to be a writer, a musician. I was really into the Jacqueline Wilson books, and I really wanted to be like Jacqueline Wilson. I wanted to write like her. So but even though I was quite academic, I didn't really enjoy school. So I left after my 5th year and I went straight into university. So this is where I studied. I studied at the Robert Gordon University in Aberdeen. So I decided to do law, even though it was something I wasn't really that passionate about, but I thought it would be a really good degree to have. So during my first year, I decided that it wasn't really for me, but my mum really wanted me to finish at least 1 year, which I did. And I actually ended up doing 4 more. So I ended up graduating with a law degree in 2011, and I decided to at least qualify to be a solicitor. So I graduated again in 2012 with a diploma. But unfortunately, I was unsuccessful in my search for a traineeship, which is what you need to qualify. And I worked at my first job outside of university in a police call center. So this looks exactly like the call center that I worked at when I was at the police. And in doing that job, I was kind of really hoping to get into their legal department. But after that, I kind of fell into logistics and freight forwarding. I live and work in Aberdeen, so we're very oil and gas focused up here. And so I ended up doing freight forwarding and shipping lots of goods for oil rigs, for huge oil and gas companies. I don't know if you notice or recognize any of the companies on the right there, but I used to work a lot closely with them. So I was learning about customs and air freights and everything, and I really loved my time there, and I loved learning new things. But during this time, I experienced something called burnout, and I decided to leave the industry. So when I decided to leave, I went traveling for a wee bit. So there I am off on my adventures, going to see the Grand Canyon and camping in the middle of Monument Valley. But after I finished traveling, I came home, but I still didn't know what I wanted to do. But I knew I loved writing, so I applied for a job at CodeBase, and I was doing social media. So when I was at university, or even when I was at school, social media really wasn't a job option. So everything I know is from learning on the job and from using social media in my spare time. So it was there that I learned more about tech and getting involved with the Barclays Ego Labs, and learning about 3D printing, laser cutting. And from there, I signed up to be a STEM ambassador so that I could get involved with volunteering at our Young Coders Club. So I really loved watching the kids, you know, getting involved with coding projects and getting excited, and you know, seeing kids who didn't know how to turn a computer on or use a mouse, be so excited to come to the clubs every week, and it was a joy just watching them kind of grow from there. So I really love doing what I do, communicating kind of with our community about cool tech things, and being part of events and stuff as well, I guess, when we're allowed to go back. And I'm really at the beginning of my tech journey, so I'm really excited to see what's to come and what opportunities come my way. So for those wondering, I still write online to improve my writing skills, and it's something that I'm deeply passionate about. So yeah, thanks for listening to my short talk, and I guess we'll get into the coding. So if you want to go into your web browser and put in this web address, it's www.code.org/Minecraft. And I'll give you a couple of minutes to get that set up, and I'll show you what the web page looks like to begin with. So let me just get this up. Cool. So can you see the web page?
Yep, we can see it.
Great.
So the web page
Okay,
is
so this is
we
what
had
you should
in the
see.
chat box.
Cool, thank you. Cool. So hopefully everyone is, I'll give you guys a couple of minutes to get that up. But when you get into this web page here, the code.org/Minecraft, we're going to go into this Minecraft Voyage Aquatic. So we're going to explore and build underwater worlds with code. So what we're going to do is we're going to be completing challenges in this underwater world. And we're going to be using lines of code, and it'll be really exciting for if you've ever done block coding. It's going to be pretty easy to learn, and you can also then see your lines of JavaScript code as well. So you can take a note of that if you'd like to. But yeah, we'll just get started if everyone is happy. So we'll just click start, and it'll open up a new page here. My internet is really bad, so hopefully it'll be okay. So when you first get started, it'll pop up with this little aquatic introduction. It's just telling you, you know, what we're away to do, and we're going to do the challenges. You can play it if you would like. It's actually quite fun and creative, but we'll just move on. Hello, and you can always go back. So what you can do is we'll just get started. So you can choose your character. You can choose between Steve or Alex. Doesn't really matter who, they're both, they both have the same skills. So you'll see the box here, it gives you the instructions at the top here. So it's saying that we need supplies for the voyage ahead. So we need to collect a boat from the chest. So if you click OK, it'll take you to your workspace, and you'll see our little guy here. And your workspace is here, and it's quite good that it tells you how many blocks you need to be able to complete the code. You don't necessarily have to use you know, those blocks. You can always use more, or you can use less, but it just kind of gives you an idea of how many you should use. And here we've got the blocks, the kind of lines of code that we can use to make him move. And then over here, we've got our screen, and then our little run button at the bottom here, which we'll click to be able to see how our lines of code are acting. So we need to get our little guy over to the text here, and it's saying when run, so when we click this button to move forward, but when he moves forward, he's only going to move forward once. So we're going to need to add another line of code for him to kind of reach that extra step to get to the chest. So I'm going to drag this move forward block over here, and hopefully him taking 2 steps will reach the chest. So let's run that code together. Yeah, we've reached the chest and we have managed to get a boat. So here it says we've just written 2 lines of code, and if you're a bit curious about what code you've written, you can actually click on this little arrow here and it'll tell you what we've done. So it's telling us that we're using a computer language called JavaScript, and this code tells computers what to display on the screen. So everything you see in Dear Minecraft also starts with computer code like this. So if you play Minecraft in your spare time, this is what happens in the back. So we'll click continue and we'll go on to the next challenge. Please let me know if I'm going too fast or if you want me to repeat anything. So great. So the instructions are again at the top, and it says boats are much easier than swimming in open water. So we need to head to the end of the dock and hop aboard. So there's our boat there, it's at the end of our deck. But you know, he's at a really, you know, weird angle. All we've done just moving forward is just going forward. So we need to give him a little nudge, a little instruction to turn right. So if we count the blocks, we want him to move forward 1. So if we drag our block over, and then when he gets over here, we want him to turn right. And here is really good because it gives you the options to turn left or right, but we want him to go right this time. And then when he turns right, we're going to get him to move forward 2 more times, and that should hopefully get him into our boat. So let's run the line of code and see what happens.
I have a question.
Great, so we have, yeah, Kelly.
My question is, what happens if you pull too many blocks over?
So let's replay. So if we pull too many blocks, we need to get rid of them. If you just drag that block and then you can pop it in the bin.
Okay, thank you.
So let's just say we've pulled 1 too forward and he's going to fall off the boat. You just need to click and hold that block and then pop it in the bin.
Okay,
Then you
thank
should
you.
be able to restart again. No worries. Let's reset. Let's run it again, and we will move on to the next bit. So again, you can always show your code and see what you've done. So let's continue and see what other challenges we're going to be faced with.
Oh my goodness, Lila's on stage 5 already. Okay.
Wow.
We're on level 5.
Wow. I don't know if that means I need to ramp it up, Kelly. So quick, so good. So we're in our boat and we need to grab our oars and we need to pop our boat across the open seas and we need to catch this little cod that's swimming up over here. So all we need to do is just keep moving forward because we don't need to turn or anything like that. So let's move forward. But that's only going to move us forward once. So we kind of need to keep building on top of that and keep going towards the fish. So 2, maybe not enough. So maybe a 3rd one. It's going to get us around here. Maybe another one, 4th, maybe a 5th one. Maybe 1 more. And hopefully that should get us to move towards the fish. Again, what I said earlier about the workspace, it tells you how many blocks you might need. So that might come in a bit handy, a bit of a tip there. So let's run it and see if maybe we'll go too far or if we get to the fish. Yeah, we got there. Lila's probably finished now. I need to get cracking.
Grace said she was on
So
stage.
we'll keep going. We've got a couple more challenges. Oh, wow. Everyone's doing so well.
I think you're
So
all
again, another pop-up video. I know everyone's so great at this. So there's another video that pops up, but again, you can watch that, or if you've already watched it, that's great. But it just tells us about repeat until, because what we've been doing so far is dragging and dropping individual blocks, telling the computer to just keep moving forward. And we don't want to keep doing that because if you have to type it all out, it can be a bit of a pain. So we're going to use this repeat until, which makes things 10 times easier, and that means we only need to give one instruction. So it's going to say, it says, let's feed the cod to the dolphin, which is a bit cruel, but we'll keep going. Use a repeat until block to get across the ocean faster. So here is our dolphin, and it's already given us a little clue saying repeat until go. So we just want him to keep going forward. We don't need him to turn left or anything or turn right. So let's pop this move forward inside here, and it's going to move forward and repeat that move forward until go. Whereas before we would have had to put in 7 of these move forwards to get to where we need to go. So let's run and see what happens. So our little character has managed to get to the dolphin, and yeah, we'll just continue and see what the next challenge is. So we're on puzzle 5 now. And we're getting a bit, we're getting deep into the underwater world now. And it says there's a Nautilus shell hidden somewhere, and this is what the Nautilus shell looks like. And we need to explore the shipwreck to reach the chest, which is over here. So it's telling us that we need to keep using the repeat until go, and it's given us 2 move forwards. But what he's kind of stating into this direction here, so we need him to turn. So if I'm looking to where he's looking, I need him to turn right. So we're going to get him to turn right, and then when he hits another block, he's going to turn right again. So hopefully that'll get us to where we need to go. So let's run it and see what happens. And we've reached the treasure chest. So let's continue on to the next challenge. This was not giving us any clues whatsoever, so we've got to kind of work it out ourselves. So it's telling us it's looking cold out there, and we need to catch a silly salmon on the way to the underwater room. So here's our little silly salmon flopping about there, and here is our character on the boat. So we kind of need to navigate our way up towards the salmon. So there's lots of different ways I guess you could take. You could go up, across, up and across, or you can go this way where you go across first and then straight up and then across. So I think I'm gonna maybe go for this little path here and make things a bit complicated. So I guess I kind of want him to move forward 3 times. And that should hopefully get us to hit this wall here. And then after that, we're going to get him to turn right. So again, here you can change it from right to left. And then I'm going to get him to move forward 3 times again. So repeat 3 times, move forward. And then I'm going to get him to turn left. But this isn't really going to do anything. I think I'm just probably going to end up somewhere over here. I'm going to end up hitting the wall. So from looking at this little pattern here, I need him to repeat that until we reach the goal. Oh no. Hopefully. Don't think my blocks are clipping into place. There we go. So we want him to repeat this little pattern until he gets to the salmon. So let's run it, see what happens. So we've reached our little salmon there. So yeah, let's just keep going and see what other challenges we've got. How is everyone getting on? Some people's probably finished.
I'm sure some people have almost finished. I've just popped the website. If you're just joining us, I've popped the website into the chat.
Right. Thank you. Thanks. So yeah, we've got another video that's popped up, and we've got it's going to tell us about conditionals. So again, you can watch this at your own leisure, but we'll keep going and we'll try and complete some more challenges.
Mary
So it's
is
getting a
already
bit more
on
difficult
challenge
now,
11.
and it's saying that we found the.
Sorry.
Oh, really? Wow, that's pretty impressive. There's some really cool things to do at the end. So if you're wanting to do some more Minecrafty things, there's a little challenge at the end.
I have a question.
But yeah, we're gonna search this this.
So Amina says they're a bit stuck on 5.
Okay, what's happened at number 5?
Amina, if you can let us know how you're stuck.
Yeah, we'll try and help you. So it was this one that you were stuck on?
Yep. So
we were trying to get to this little past here.
So you click on the Aquatic Adventure Challenge. That's the one we're going through. Oh, Amina's got it.
She's got it. Great. It's good though when you get a little bit challenged, you can try and figure it out as well. And if you go a different way, that's also okay. I think there's lots of different ways that we can do the same thing. So don't worry that if your line of code is not exactly the same as mine. So yeah, we're going to go on to number 7 just now, and it's telling us that we need to go to this chest here to look for this prismarine treasure. So it's already given us a little bit of a hint, and it says repeat until goal, move forward, and then if the path is to the right, what do we want him to do? So if you hit a path and you're trying to get to where you need to go, you want to turn right. So we're going to pop this little turn right block in here, and yeah, hopefully when he hits the path and he needs to turn right, our little guy will turn right. So let's run it. So he's reached his little treasure chest, and yeah, so we'll continue and do some more of these if challenges.
How's everyone doing? Let us know. Let us know what level you're on.
Yeah, probably moving at a faster pace than I am for sure. So yeah, we need to get to this tropical fish. Where is he? He's over here in the coral reef. So we need to go all the way around and try and reach this little coral fish. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this repeat until goal, because you want him to keep going until he gets to his target, and we're going to get him to move forward. So he goes all the way to the end, and then if the path is to the right, then we want him to turn right. So let's use this little, if the path to the right, turn right. And remember, you can change the little drop downs here as well. So let's go and see what happens. So we've reached the fish in the coral reef. So we'll keep going. So in this whole tutorial, there are 11 challenges, and when you get to the end, there is a free play, so you can build your own Minecraft world using JavaScript, using the lines of code that you've learned, and you can just build your own world and have a bit of fun. So I think we will have time for maybe 2 more challenges, and then yeah, if you're there already, let us know how you got on. Let us know what you managed to build at the end as well. So yeah, let's continue. So we're on challenge 9 just now, and here's our little guy here, and we're trying to reach the treasure chest, which is over here. So we're going to need to have a look at these corals and blue spots and little bits of seaweed to try and reach our goal. So what I'm going to get him to do is I'm going to get him to repeat until we reach the goal. And then we'll get him to move forward, and then we'll get him to move forward until maybe he hits this blue coral here. So if he's standing on the blue coral, we're going to get him to turn right. There's also drop downs here, and you can get him to turn at any of these other options here. But I think the blue coral is a good way to stop. And then when he keeps, so he's going to hit the blue, and then when I get him to hit the red, I think I'm going to get him to turn left. So if he's standing on red coral, I'm going to get him to turn left. So we'll just run that and see what happens. So it looks like I've taken definitely the long way round to get to this treasure chest. But like I said earlier, there's lots of different ways you can take to do the same thing. So challenge yourself to find the shortest way, and yeah, use all these different corals and different places on your screen to kind of make the turns. So what I'm going to do is, I don't think we'll have time to finish the rest of the tutorial until we get to number 11, but please feel free to keep going. It's very challenging and lots of different ways that you can do the same thing. So keep going if you want to, but I'll probably start wrapping up here, and I'll pass over to Kelly for the second session. But please let us know how you've got on. Did you enjoy it? What does your final free play look like? What did you end up building at the end with your lines of code? So yeah, I really hope you enjoyed this session. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to pass over to Kelly to get set up for session 2.